Alright guys, today we are talking about Bitcoins.
Ooh.
Big word. Big word with a big B. Bitcoins.
Bitcoin, like a very big word for those who didn't buy it,
Oh!
including myself.
Let's talk about it. Let's start with how did Bitcoins come around?
Well, this happened around, I think, 2008, which coincided with the last global financial crisis. We don't have a lot of those kind of things.
Okay.
Right? It coincided with a time when people distrusted money. Printed money by central banks around the world.
Okay.
So I guess there was this guy called Satoshi. He still is anonymous today. People don't know who exactly he is. Like, he's not been identified. So he came up with this idea of Bitcoins with a lot of rules, right? And one of the rules was that you can solve a kind of computer puzzle, then you get some Bitcoins, and those were the days, right? And so it stems from this distrust of government printed money at the time.
Okay, which means people didn't trust paper money at the time, right?
At that time,
Yeah.
yes.
So and
the
then,
banks were collapsing in the United States, and the government at the time was going to print a lot of money in the United States to save the banks.
Okay. I know we're a little bit late because Bitcoins was such old story, but looking back, wow, how far Bitcoin has come.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Well, back then when Bitcoin started coming out, during its birth, right? I think we were all there at that time, and we were a little bit like worried, like, what is this crazy thing that someone is trying to make money off? It sounded so scamish. It sounded like a really bad investment, but looking back now, 7,000 USD seems like a pretty good investment.
Why did you think it was a bad investment at the time?
It seems so unsafe. It seems like another stock market which you are trying to enter and waiting for it to go up or down, and it was based on nothing.
I remember actually looking at it, and I was considering mining it actually, going into mining it, but I'm so lazy, it's just too much work. Then I looked at the price. I think it started at below $1. I think it started at just a few cents, right? $1, and then it moved up to $2, and then I was asking myself, $2, I mean, if a stock in the stock market went up from 1 ringgit to 2 ringgit, would I buy the stock? I would think twice, right? Would I put a lot of money into that stock? It had already doubled in price, and I thought, nah, I wouldn't buy it. And then it went up to $6, and then it doubled and tripled, and today, fast forward, 10 years later almost, it's 7,000 US dollars, and I'm just kicking myself.
So the big question, is it a good investment?
I don't know whether you can call it an investment. As we discussed in the last episode that you got to, in the property episode, that you got to buy investments that suit you, right? If you like to take a lot of risk, you've got a lot of time to recover from risk taking, then a high risk investment is good for you. Now, Bitcoin is one that just is an outlier. It's just too volatile, very extremely risky. I guess that on hindsight, right? Hindsight, they say that hindsight is 2020. Right. When you have hindsight is always 2020. I guess you can say you should have bought at $1 or $3 or $6. At $1 it'd be okay. It's quite cheap to buy, and even if you lost all that $1, you still be okay. But if you lost 7,000 US dollars today, in today's money, that's almost 30,000 ringgit. Will you be okay with that? Or even if you lost half of that, if Bitcoin went from 7,000 to 3,500, would you be okay with that, right? Would you be okay with that? If Bitcoins fell tomorrow from today's $7,000 as we speak to $3,500, would you be okay with that?
No.
You wouldn't? Okay. No. So let me ask you this other question. If it went from $7,000 to $70,000,
hey,
would you be okay?
Yeah.
So would you buy it? We don't know, right?
Okay.
So this proves my point that hindsight is always 2020. When you look at something and you trace back the price movement of that particular thing that has just skyrocketed, I mean, you just wish you bought at that time. But when I ask you this question today, would you buy it at 7,000 today, and then with the prospect of it either halving to 3,500 or moving up to 20,000 or 50,000 or 70,000 or something crazy like that? you wouldn't know what to do, right?
Okay. So you would only know if it's a good investment. It's up to you.
I think it is pretty much up to you, but one rule of thumb is whether you are comfortable of losing a lot of money with it. If you were comfortable of losing a lot of money from it with the prospect of making a lot of money from it, then yeah, sure, go ahead and gamble.
Okay.
It might be a good gamble, who knows, right?
Okay.
And it's very different for people who have a lot of money than people who don't have a lot of money. For example, if you had 20 million bucks in your bank account, in your portfolio, are you spending $7,000 and losing $3,500 from that? It's no big deal to you, right?
Yeah,
Warren Buffett wouldn't even feel it.
Yeah. Following up the next question, do you think it will continue to go up? I mean, I know we can't predict a lot of things, but do you think it's a bubble? Like the property market, right? Eventually it will grow so big to the point it crashes.
It feels like a bubble.
It feels
like a bubble because it's gone from nothing to a lot of money today.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next move is, but I'm in a category of people who would not touch it today.
Okay.
I probably live to regret that if it goes up a lot more, but I want to enjoy my life. I want to sleep at night, so I would not touch it.
So only take the risk if you're willing to take the risk.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Is it legal in Malaysia? Is Bitcoins a legal currency in Malaysia?
Now that's a very interesting question because it's the same as asking, is gold legal? Is silver legal? Because people have been using gold for a long time without regulation, right? And the government till today has not regulated gold.
Okay.
So why is all this big fuss being made about regulating Bitcoins? I guess when there is a lot of consumer interest in something, asking whether this is a scam or not, the government has to come in and make statements about it, like this is dangerous, don't play around with it.
Okay.
But regulating it would raise some very interesting questions, I think. Why is the government not regulating gold, and why does it see the need? I mean, Bank Negara has made statements about whether they want to regulate Bitcoins or not, and even the PBOC, which is the Central Bank of China, has also banned Bitcoins, right? Why have central governments come out in full force to talk about Bitcoins? I don't know. I think that, to me, I'm of the school of thought that people should always learn about the thing that they're going to put the money into, right? If you lose out, that's your own fault because you're not clever enough to think about it. So I think, leave them be. If Bitcoin crashes, if not too many people go into it, then let them learn from it. If more people get into it, or let them also learn from it.
Yeah.
But I think at this point in time, not many people have gone into Bitcoins.
Okay.
It's just a minority few.
Okay. I would think, like, for an investor point of view, the reason why we ask so many questions, right? Whether it's regulated or
You're
not.
salivating, that's the reason.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the money.
It's more for peace of mind, right? If it's regulated, it becomes a little bit safer, I think.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think regulation makes it safer.
Yeah.
Regulation just makes it a form of protection. It's a message from the regulator saying, beware of this thing. If the regulator themselves outright ban Bitcoins, then they would have to examine the reasonings behind banning of that thing.
And we were bouncing off ideas, talking a little bit about anarchy.
Anarchy, wow.
A couple of minutes ago.
Are you trying to start a revolution?
Not really, but you mentioned something really interesting, that Bitcoins kind of resonates with the term of anarchy.
Well, I don't know much about the political version of what anarchy is, because that's a whole school of thought, right? What anarchy is. Yeah. But really, the normal understanding of anarchy is that there's disorder, there's mayhem in society. But the believers of anarchy think it's just a system of orderly political thought without too much hierarchy, right? Without big boss or big brother watching over you. And it's a form of self-regulation. So I guess the supporters of the early technology, and even till today, the supporters of the Bitcoin technology and Bitcoins and other kinds of cryptocurrencies detest regulation.
Okay.
They don't want to be under the watchful eye of the government because they want to exchange among themselves. Hey, Dexter, if you ask for a ride home from me, that is an exchange between the both of us that the government shouldn't meddle around with, right? It's a decision between the both of us.
Yeah.
I gave you a lift home. Why should it be under the watchful eye of the government?
True.
If you told me that, okay, in exchange for my service of giving you a lift home,
Okay.
you write me a piece of paper and say that, okay, you have given me a lift home. The next time I can use this piece of paper to get something back from you, right?
Okay.
Now that's cryptocurrency. Should the government then come in with a kind of regulation on that piece of paper? Tell me.
So it seems like there's no need for that.
I don't think there is.
Okay.
And so today there are so many kinds of cryptocurrencies that exist around the world today. To what extent will the government be able to regulate all the kinds of cryptocurrencies and all the kinds of private agreements that exist with private people?
Yeah.
How is the government going to regulate that?
You can't.
I don't think you can. I think it'd be crazy too.
Yeah.
And that's something else with cryptocurrencies as well, because it gave rise to this technology called the blockchain technology. And this is something that is going to change the world apparently, because it's going to allow people to make transactions directly with other people in full transparency, I guess, and in full protection, because every transaction will be recorded. Some of these things that I'm reading are telling me that this will change the world.
Wow. Shout out to one of our viewers. He actually mentioned about blockchain technology. What's his name? Jeez.
You must really like this guy.
Harith! Remember Harith?
I remember him.
Yeah. So Harith actually mentioned about something that us millennials can actually look at. It is at the forefront of technology. And it, like you said, it's probably going to change the world.
I hope it's not encouraging millennials to buy into Bitcoins or anything. Maybe you should interview him. Maybe you should interview him.
Maybe I'll just like text him and just talk to him and see what his ideas are about this.
Get him in front of the camera. Put him in front of the camera.
Let's do that. Harith, yo! Guys, check out Julian on verylongrun.com.
Yeah, and I've got a Facebook page, A Very Long Run, and also my website is verylongrun.com. Leave your comments. I may respond.
Yeah, he may respond.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
When I get the time.
Yes, and if you really like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you've got a question, comment. And if you really want someone to learn something, share this video. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you all in the next episode. Bye!
Don't forget to like and subscribe!